Good morning. You got your teddy?
Good morning.
Yay! Hi, ChatGPT. Is he being so silly? Oh, it's so nice out here. Trying to get some sunshine on my face. Say that's really good for you first thing in the morning. It's so nice and cool this morning. Even Moses is like, dang, this feels good. Finally had a good night of sleep last night. Actually slept through the night. I remember the last time I've done that. So I woke up around 5 and truthfully I could have and should have gotten up, but I didn't. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. And we ended up getting up at 6:30 instead. So today is kind of a 3/4 work day. My mom is coming over to take Eli for the day, but she won't be over until like 9:30-ish, 9:30, 10 maybe. So I'll have Eli for the morning. Definitely gonna go on a walk. We're gonna have some breakfast, go for a walk, get our steps in, hang out, and then my mom will be over and we can go have a work day together and I can show you a little bit more behind the scenes of what I do in a office day, a work day. When my mom is here, I like lock myself in my office and I just power through everything I possibly can. So I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to talk to you about my main streams of income, plans to reach 10K months. I have a goal by the end of this year, end of 2025, to hit $10,000 months. And I'm really hoping to hit it, you know, a couple times before the year is over. But as this year has been tracking, it might just be 1 month. It might be 0 months. But we're building it, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my plans to do that, what streams of income I'm focusing on to make that happen. But first, we have a tizzy. Normally I'm a coffee straight away in the morning. I used to be, but then I started having a lot of acid reflux issues. I read that if you have coffee on an empty stomach, that can contribute to it. So I thought I would try switching out coffee first thing because I have coffee later. We love our coffee. Start with a tizzy is what it's called. It's a tea and a fizz. And then I'll have my protein shake for breakfast. And then I will have my coffee, a little protein coffee, and it's delicious. I can enjoy it a little bit more too. I feel like in the morning you're just like scarfing coffee down. I can actually enjoy my coffee. I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit longer until they find out I'm outside. See how long I can get away with it. Listen to these birds chirping. Is that not beautiful? Thank you, Jesus. I love watching his little nose twitch. It's so sweet. You're so sweet, puppy. Yeah, I'm just making a shake real quick. Making my breakfast, and then we can go.
I'm gonna run to the grocery store.
What's the matter, bud? Let's go. Okay. right, Eli. Let's go, cutie. Mm-hmm. You betcha. Take some shoes. We have some trash bags for Mosey. Okay, we did it. We got out of the house. It was a whole event. Just trying to get the children out of the house. Having a little bit more breakfast for this one. And this one's just living his best life, peeing on everything. Come on. Okay, so while we're on our walk, I thought I would walk you through the first income stream. I have 3 that I primarily focus on. And the first one out of the 3, I have my network marketing business with Arbonne. I have my own digital services, so like my courses, my coaching, my profile audits for Instagram. And then I also have brand partnerships and UGC. So I thought I would quickly talk about the brand partnerships UGC because I feel like it's pretty short and sweet. Side note, this is such a weird opinion to have. Well, SUV just went by and I could tell it's one of those like knockoff electric cars, like a Tesla, but it's not a Tesla. And I'm so sorry if this offends anyone, but I think those fake sounds, if it's not a Tesla, don't compete where you can't compare. I feel like all these other electric cars that like make that goofy electric sound so dumb. Anyways, sorry, that was a tangent. Moving on. So when it comes to brand partnerships and UGC, I'm not as focused on brand partnerships. I'm more focused on UGC. And the reason being, well, a couple reasons. I find it so much more flexible and a little bit more freeing to do UGC content than brand partnerships. I'm working with a brand right now, and by the time this goes live, that content will also be live. Working with Hungry Root, and what I really enjoyed about this brand partnership that I don't feel like I've had in a lot of other partnerships, a lot of time with the product, with the brand, to create my own opinion so that when it comes time to put that content together, Hungry Root is a meals delivered to your door. I feel like I'm not explaining that very well, but you can customize your specific diet needs, preferences, and then you get sent meals basically to put together. And I've really enjoyed the meals that they picked out for this collaboration. But I've had over a month to work on the brand, to work on the content, and that's just been really nice. And I don't feel like you get that kind of flexibility with other brands. They're like, we want to see you use this eye cream and make content within 2 weeks, and I'm like, well, I need at least 28 days to give this eye cream a solid go, because that's how long it takes for your skin to go through a cycle. So I'm not going to have any like real opinions to give you on 2 weeks. So anyways, I just really enjoyed the flexibility, but I don't feel like a lot of brands have that flexibility. So I think when it comes to UGC versus brand partnerships, I actually prefer UGC, even though it pays less than a brand partnership. And then I don't feel like I have to get into all the nitty gritty of a brand partnership. UGC, it's like, I create this content for you, you pay me for that work, you pay me for that content, and then that's it. I also don't feel like there's that added pressure of it performing a certain way on your account, which I feel like I probably have a little PTSD from, since my big account just like was not producing the way it should have, with having over 100,000 followers and the engagement and visibility was just so poor. I felt so terrible, but I just didn't realize at the time what was happening. I had a brand partnership with a deodorant brand, and they paid me a flat fee to post it in stories, and it like just bombed. Like my stories were so bad, and they weren't normally that bad. So I was like, wow, this is really out of the normal. And they were like, hey, is there any way? Like I was so embarrassed, but I felt so bad. And they asked like, hey, so this didn't perform the way that we thought. And I was like, listen, same. It did not in my eyes either. Because I sent them my analytics. I sent them what my story views usually are. And that's why they decided to go forward. And I was like, I don't know if it's the weekend. I don't know if it's during it was during Black Friday. I don't know if it's because people are out shopping in person. Like, I don't know. And they said, would you be willing to post one more time in your stories, the same content, as like a make good? And I was like, yes. Absolutely. But there was just that like pressure, and it was embarrassing for me. And I know that's not everybody's situation. That's not everybody's story. So for me though, I prefer to focus on UGC content. And I've actually created a service for local business owners here in my like suburb of Brookfield, but the Milwaukee area, that if they want either a monthly subscription or a one-off where I come in and I make content for their business, because that's where I feel like my zone of genius really is my content creation. So if you're thinking like, how can I potentially just get another like cash injection to my business, really think about what you're good at. What do you excel at? What have you worked on harnessed, really crafted in a skill set that you could then monetize. For me, that's content creation. I feel like I worked really hard to make exceptional content, top tier content. So I know I can deliver on that, but it was like, gosh, how do I do that on whatever scale? I don't know that I want it to be on this super massive digital scale like I was doing before, and just do something that's really simple in person. So I pitched it to a few local businesses and I've been able to book some packages that way. I created like a little portfolio deck with all the work I've done before, like what they can expect from me. I remember going on a cruise and I filmed all kinds of stuff and I actually pitched it to Royal Caribbean and said like, hey, I have a crap ton of content. It is really good content. Do you want to buy this for a flat fee? They didn't get back to me. But the idea of doing that, I actually heard of a gal who travels a lot for her blog, for her content, and she reaches out to the hotels that she's going to stay at, and she says, hey, I'm actually going to be in the area. Would you like to work together? And she's obviously built her portfolio up over a massive period of time where a lot of these brands will want to work with her because her content is top tier. So I'm so out of breath. I actually haven't been out walking because it's been so freaking hot. And my mom has been over the times that they do go on a walk, so I haven't gotten my steps in a while. And it's showing. Bless you! That's an idea of when you visit a restaurant, a hotel, an experience, a destination. Come on. To take a crap load of content, like good content. If this is your jam, good content, good quality video, tag a whole bunch of different brands, right, to catch the eye of these brands, and you never know what might come of it. So that's kind of everything on the brand partnership UGC side of things. If you're wondering how to get started in brand partnerships in UGC, I do have a freebie. You can check out the description box of this video. It is 3 income streams you can do from home, and I talk about brand partnerships UGC and how to get started in both of them. You having a good time, Bubba? Hello, she's getting ready. Now you're on a vlog.
I thought, I wonder what Eli would think of that, so I videoed him. Okay, ready?
Let's go. Is there anything that you need from Costco? You can just put it in a group text with Mom. Okay, just sat in my office and I'm writing down all the things that I ideally would like to get done today. I was looking at my content going up for this week. My emails I already scheduled for this week. I got it done on Friday, I want to say, and I got all of this week's emails done, which felt really good. No, I think I got them done on Tuesday of last week, and I was like, let me just bust this out really quick. And I set up all the emails for this week, which feels really good. Just like one less thing I have to do. Gonna go through what I have coming up this week. If I have anything, go through my emails super quick, and then make a list of all the things that I would like to get done today. One of them is sending all of the resources and our coaching replay that I did on Saturday with a gal. Her handle is Terribly Honest. Her name is Tara. So cute. And we had such a good coaching call. That's my first coaching call since I put my Instagram business on the back burner, and it felt so good to just jump back in the saddle. Honestly, it was the best conversation. I love working with entrepreneurs, business owners, and content creators that are just ready to get to work versus people that are like, I don't know. And it just makes it really hard to work with people like that. I get it. It feels overwhelming, but if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a content creator, you want to do this full time, you got to have the tenacity. You have to have the audacity. You have to want it so bad. And that's exactly who she is. So it was so good. It was so good to talk to her. So I'm going to send her the replay from Saturday. I'm going to send her the resources that I was typing up during our session. Okay, so I need to go through and check some emails. I did see some responses from some businesses that want to learn more about reels and content. So I'm excited to get back to those people. Like I said, send Tara her resources and her replay. I want to plan out the rest of this week's content because I won't have another office day outside of today. I'm going to plan out this week's content so that I don't have to worry about what's going up this week. And then also I need to update the Gals That Brunch July brunch that's happening this month for July 19th. The infographic graphics, the email, and the content that goes up on the socials because it's less than 2 weeks away. I could not get a restaurant to respond to me for the life of me, so that was kind of frustrating. So I think I will also put in there plan August as well because it's so much better when we go to the brunch and next month's brunch event is already taken care of because then they're more likely to hop on buying for the next event. So 4 things today. I'm gonna quickly do emails. I'm gonna quickly send Tara all of her info, and then we'll go to the bigger guys because those will take a little bit more time. So really I treat my office days as admin days, a lot of behind the scenes stuff of planning, scheduling, getting emails ready to go, just stuff that happens behind the scenes so that I don't necessarily have to worry about it in the moment, because if I'm left to my own devices, I'm screwed. And I have become a content creation person on the go instead of taking time in my office to film. I feel like that's not the best use of my time. Try and divide up tasks between, is this something that's better suited for my office days, or is this something that I can do when Eli is awake and he's doing some independent play, he's playing outside, I can answer some things really quick, or I can film something really quick. So I've become more of a content creator on the go, like as far as like creating content and filming instead of taking the time in here, unless it's something for YouTube like right now. And I feel like that content is just performing better than the stuff that's like sitting down in here. It's like out and about, and people like to see the out and about stuff. So I can imagine somebody asking like, how do you know what to do during your set office time, during your work time? And that's how I decide, is whether it's like, do I need uninterrupted time? As much as I can like bang out in one day, that's what I'll do during my office time. And then I'll film on the go. And now it is my favorite time of the day, which is coffee time. So I'm a little extra, a little bougie with my coffee. I like it in a very specific order. So I actually don't enjoy going to coffee shops like Starbucks or Dunkin' because I love how I make it at home, and I think my husband's very happy about that. So I do 2 shots of espresso. I'm gonna add some hot water, coffee protein, mushroom powder, a splash of heavy cream, and I just have my coffee protein powder in a little thing like this so I can just scoop out a little bit of it. I actually don't put a ton in here, just a dash. Some of the mushroom powder. This is just really good for your immune system, your daily defense, if you will. And then I already put this in there, but I primarily use honey as a sweetener, and I just do like a tiny bit of the salted caramel. Let me mix that up a little bit. Gonna go wash this out. Okay, let's go. I already had some lunch, so now we're gonna get into like blinders on, focus mode, get as much done as we possibly can. Okay. Just a little status update because I feel like I say distracted, but it was a good distraction. I had a few businesses respond interested in my content creation packages, and they were looking for different reels than what I had put in my portfolio, so I needed to like go find those. Done my emails, I've sent off the coaching resources, and now I'm going to work on the Gals That Brunch email info for this month's event and the posts that I'm gonna put up. I also needed a post today because normally I have like a makeup transition post that I do on Mondays. Not today. And I'm supposed to go live today, but I'm not like super inclined to do so. Usually I have makeup on and I look a little bit more presentable, but I have quite a few things I still need to do, like the Gals at Brunch, plan out my content for this week, at least like have an idea for the next 2 days maybe. I also have 2 profile audits that were requested, so I need to get those done. And then this isn't really a big deal, but I wanted to see where I'm at for finances for the month of June, close out June, and then also where I'm at so far after the first week of July, because last week was really good with my digital products. So why don't we actually talk about that really quick? And we're gonna go make some greens at the same time.
Okay.
You're fine. You won't be in it. I'll just be right here.
Okay, well, I'm almost done.
You're fine right there. You can just hang. I'm just gonna take this little corner. What should I put with these? Maybe raspberry. Where are you going now? Cinderella, Cinderella. This is my greens. This is what I'm doing. This is a new flavor of the Green Synergy Pomegranate Acai. This is the best one. They better keep this. I will be so sad if they don't keep this flavor. And then I'm adding my Sport electrolytes just because I really like the flavor, and the Raspberry Energy Fizz, but the raspberry is gone, so I'm very sorry about that. You could also add pomegranate because pomegranate acai, that'll be a good blend. So all three of these, I like to first put mine in water like this. Ugh, and spill greens everywhere, that's fine. And then I like to mix mine with a frother just because I feel like it blends or stirs it with the water. This is your 3-in-1. This isn't just your greens powder, this is your collagen and your gut health. So it's your prebiotics, probiotics, digestive enzymes. It also has a vegan collagen builder, which helps your body naturally produce more collagen, which is ultimately what we want. And then the greens is 12 fruits and veggies, a full serving, 3-in-1. It's not just a greens powder like a lot of them on the market today. Moment of truth. Yeah, it's good. It tastes tropical. It's a little tarty. You don't want to be on camera?
No, not like this.
This is gonna go out to the general public. My mother, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, good.
Very good.
On top of it.
I would drink that every day.
You should drink it every day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, sorry. I have no other way of holding you except for being this close. I'm very sorry. We're just gonna pop outside, and it's not horribly hot, so that's kind of nice. But let's just pop outside, get a little bit of sunshine like we did this morning. Sometimes I feel like it gets really dreary in my office. Okay, let me quickly run through the second stream of income that I have, which are my digital offers, my courses, my coaching, my profile audits. So my digital products were a part of my very first business. It was well before MRR came on the scene, which I'm not a fan of. I don't mean any offense to anybody. When it comes to products like that, it is so important that you are a product of the product before you try and sell it. I talk about these greens. What they've done for me personally is they have helped my digestion immensely. But the biggest thing that they've done for me is helped chill out my periods. My periods were so bad after having my son. And I was like, this is just my new normal. This is what my life is gonna be from now on. And I just kind of accepted it until my friend put me on to these greens. I started taking them for a little under a month, got my period, and I could not believe the difference. You are much more likely to buy the greens now after hearing my testimony, especially if you also have a hard time with your periods every month. Like, this will work wonders. You're much more likely to buy this product because of my testimony. I am much more likely to buy something from someone because of their results, their testimony, their before and afters, their transformation over, you know, pretty branding, pretty packaging, and like the ease of selling something. Nothing is necessarily just like turnkey easy to sell, and anybody that tries to sell you that way, run. Red flag, red flag. I had worked with a whole bunch of different content creators, entrepreneurs, business owners, and I found that I truly had a knack after all of my years prior to 2020. 2020 is when I opened up my Instagram coaching business, The Fierce Social Society. It's still my LLC. It is still like my overarching business. I opened it in 2020, but all the years prior, I had done so much extensive research, marketing, A and B testing of my own, and researching what other people are doing, market research of what people were asking, struggling with, and then I created the resources for people to use. And when Reels specifically came out, and my love for content creation and my skill set, like, it blew up so fast because of all of that work I had done prior. So my first digital offer, digital course was Reels, and I still have the Reel Queen course today, which gets updated nearly every month because Instagram is always changing. Don't we love her? I then opened up my massive monthly subscription course called InstaScale, and that is still around today. It is my baby, the thing that I created to help business owners approach Instagram in a way that's going to benefit their business. So it's not so much for content creators, it is for business owners. However, I felt like there was a gap in the digital space for content creators, for everyday people like myself, moms specifically, but also people that are not in the season of motherhood, for people that are just, you know, everyday, average individuals, which is the majority of us, that want to make Instagram Instagram or social media their main income, that is where I then created the Everyday Influencer. This course is a much more condensed version of InstaScale, which is my mega massive course, but it's explaining it in a way of somebody who wants to become an influencer, who wants to, and I say influencer, but not necessarily somebody who's mega viral, someone who just wants to earn an income on Instagram. Either it's through affiliate marketing, network marketing, creating their own products, UGC brand partnership, whatever it might be. This course helps somebody get on the path of doing that by creating your brand, creating a community that is obsessed with everything that you're doing, creating content that's really true to you, all that jazz. So these are all courses and resources that I've created out of like a passion and love for this, but also I can see where there's gaps in the industry of digital product. And I take my own experience, my own knowledge, my own education that I've invested in, because I've invested well over like $75,000 in masterminds, in courses, in coaching, in all of the things so that I could become better in delivering top tier content. So this is why I have a problem with just like copy paste, turnkey, MRR. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I find that a lot of people struggle selling that because they themselves have zero expertise and have zero experience and knowledge in how to help somebody else do it. They're just like, here, copy paste, go sell it for yourself. They're not a product of the product. Every single thing that I've created, I'm a product of the product, and so are my clients. Like, it's one thing to get something to work for yourself, but it's a completely different thing to get it to work for other people. So with all that said, my other income stream is these digital offers. I also have like tangible products that I design, little t-shirts and sweatshirts. I do a lot of drop shipping, so I'm never holding any inventory. That was actually my very, very, very first business. I will say there's not a huge profit margin with tangible products like a coffee cup with like a design on the front, or a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. It's more of a for fun type of business. So my Etsy is still going strong. It's still alive and well. That was my very first like dive into entrepreneurship. So I will say product businesses are fun, but there's not a big profit to be had with them. Digital products are definitely a higher profit. They have a lot more time up front that you need to commit to, and then you can sell them for, you know, whatever price. I choose to have my stuff at a lower price point because I really am of the opinion that education or things that I'm wanting to help people develop for themselves is affordable, and it's something that can be attained for the everyday influencer. Somebody who's just starting out, wanting to earn an income online, doesn't have money coming in. Like, they're trying to learn how to do that. So I have priced all of my digital products at a price point that I believe is fair to me for all the effort, time, energy, and money that I've poured into creating this, but also is attainable to the person that's wanting it. But also it's just right to the person that wants it bad enough. Like, I don't want to price my stuff so low that people think it's a cheap product, but that it's high enough that they're like, this is an investment. I want to go through every single module, because that's important to me too. I would not dive into digital products hastily. Like, do not think that you have to dive in and create something right away. More than anything, I think people are very skeptical of digital products in general because of the MRR moment trend that was happening. I think people are very skeptical of, well, did you create this, or is this a copy paste? Because people don't want copy paste. They want your unique perspective. People don't buy things, they buy people. And what I mean by that is, when you buy a pajama set from your favorite influencer, it's not necessarily because of the pajama set, it's because it's your favorite influencer that you like and you love, and you're like, oh my gosh, that PJ set is so dang cute. Now flip that, and if you see somebody and you're like, gosh, I cannot stand her, I don't like her content, and she wasn't very nice to me once upon a time, whatever it is, and you see that same pajama set, you are not gonna buy that pajama set because of the person wearing it. Like, isn't that so crazy? Like, you will happily buy it from the person that you love versus the person that you are not super keen on. Like, you are way more likely to buy it from the person that you love to follow versus the person that you're not super keen on. Like, you ain't buying anything of hers because you're like, I associate that with her. That is the power of influencing. That is the power of building up a brand for yourself and building up an audience that loves you, that will follow you anywhere. And it sounds a little bit cultish, but like, that's kind of what it is. So those are all of my digital products wrapped up into one. I do use other platforms to sell. I talk about my digital products a lot on YouTube, but I also talk about my tangible products, my Arbonne, my wellness business on YouTube because it's a part of my daily life, and I show you a lot of my daily life here too. So I talk about my other stuff as well, but I primarily sell my digital products on YouTube as well as Pinterest. I sprinkle it into Instagram, but I don't want it to get confusing of like what my actual mission and goal is on Instagram, because it's different than what I do on TikTok, what I do on YouTube, what I do on Pinterest, what I do in my emails. They all serve a very specific purpose in what I'm selling and who I'm selling to, if that makes sense. The thing I want to give advice on as far as platforms, programs to use, Canva and stan.store are all you need to create a digital product. You can create a free download, or gosh, you can create like a whole website using Canva on its own. It is the biggest bang for your buck as far as creating resources and downloads and whatever. And then stan.store is where you can house everything, your courses, any one-on-one calls that you're wanting to get on, any coaching, or if you're trying to schedule appointments or Zoom coaching, whatever you want to do. You also can do comment replies, like something like ManyChat, but it's actually built into stan.store. I used to be on a massive platform called Kajabi, so ridiculously expensive, especially if you don't have like a crazy high influx of people buying your digital courses. And even if you do, you're still paying thousands of dollars every single year for that platform. I have nothing but good things to say. However, it just became way too pricey for what I was using it for, that you can actually get with stan.store. And it's your link in bio, it's, you know, your courses, it can be links to go to downloads, it's your email list, like it's so many things wrapped up into one. It just makes way more sense to use something like that than, you know, all these different gadgets. I use Canva and stan.store the most for all of my digital products. And it's much more cost effective as well. So I wanted to quickly give you an idea of what your income could look like by selling digital product. I went back and pulled my last year focusing on my Instagram coaching business, and my highest month was March 2023, and I did $11,594 in digital products. Yeah, it was a good month. My second highest was $8,000, and my lowest month was $356. I know that it would be amazing to make $11,000 or $8,000 or $1,000, but think about the difference that $350 could make in your monthly budget for your family. Like that's pretty decent. And this month, when I got back into, let me pull that up. This month, I got back into sharing my digital products, my courses, my profile audits. Somebody booked a one-on-one coaching call with me. So just within the last 7 days of selling my digital products, I have sold $729. It's worth it. You want to make sure that you do it right, that you're creating something you yourself have experience in. And a lot of times it's gonna be something that people ask you about all the time. Maybe you have another business that you're wanting to grow and you're wanting it to explode. You want a different cash injection into your business, meaning you want to be able to make quicker money, and that's by leaning into something you're really good at. For example, I am really good, and I say this humbly but also confidently because I've worked really hard to get to where I am today. I am very confident that one of my best skills is content creation. I am so confident in that. I have worked really hard to harness and sharpen and mold this skill set to be the best that it can be, and I'm still trying to get better every single day. Content creation is something I can do very well for myself, but I also can see the type of content that another person should be making based on their niche, their business, their season of life, whatever it is, whatever they're trying to do. I can conceptualize that content of what they should be doing. So that's where my Instagram coaching portion comes in. I can look at your business and think of a reel or think of a video that I would love to see as a consumer, but that is so attainable for that person to do that it's not like no fancy equipment, nothing crazy, nothing really complicated, everything you can do right from your phone. That's what I'm really good at. So to show other people people how to do that, that's where my digital products come in, my courses, my freebies, the Real Queen. I love that course. It's like my one and done, so easy to do course. And then also, you know, as you kind of rise through to the Everyday Influencer, as well as a coaching session with me, where we can one-on-one get really detailed about your business. But oftentimes, like I just gave you that example, it's something that you are so ridiculously good at that you're not necessarily monetizing, that you're not thinking of, could this be a product? Could this be a download that then ties into my other business? Or could this just be an add-on of, like, you know, I get asked this all the time of how to read food labels, or how to find the best real estate in town. I don't know. How to peel an apple. I don't know. Like, that's so dumb. But do you see where I'm trying to go with it? Like, it could be something just people ask you about all the time. How are you constantly able to find the best thrifting items? Like, I've always wondered that. Like, some people are like, I thrifted it. I'm like, where are you going? Because I'm just thinking about Goodwill, and these people are like going to some good thrifting stores, and that I'm thinking of, would I get a download or learn how to do that? Like, if I was really wanting to learn, yeah, I would. See what I'm saying? Okay, shifting gears a little bit. Every single Monday at 2:30 my time, our Arbonne team, like our massive team, gets on a call, and we just get poured into. Like, I have to tell you, I was a part of a $25,000 mastermind that I did 2 years in a row, and it was phenomenal. The coaching, the leadership, the growth that I had, like, I will be forever grateful. And I feel like that has made me the business owner and entrepreneur that I am today. And I've never been able to find it anywhere else. I am wild. I'm not just saying this because this is my other business that I love with Arbonne, my wellness business. I'm saying that I am wildly impressed by the women that this business has attracted. These are like high level thinking women. I like to consider myself that kind of person. I think of things on a very like high business level. I don't think about things in a hobby sense or like this is for fun sense. I think about at a high level. I don't know how else to put it. The leadership that we get access to and the people that pour into us, like, I'm amazed every single Monday when I pop on. Like, I'm learning something every single Monday, and I feel like calls that I've been on in the past, they were still good, but they were fluffy. It just felt like people were complaining all the time, like, oh, I can't do this, and this is hard, and how do I make a reel? And you're like, this is tough. Because if you are at a certain level with things, you want to be around people that are higher than you so that you can then meet them where they're at and, you know, continue to grow. And that's what this is. Like, if you crave that kind of leadership or that kind of coaching, I'm just saying this team is like on another level. So let's tune in.
You are being very patient, and I appreciate that.
All right, slight change of plans in not a bad way. Tim is going to take bath and bed tonight because I forgot that he was leaving out of town tomorrow. I say out of town. Wow, you're really high. You're really high up there. It's not like out of town, far away out of town. It's Chicago, right down the way. But that gives me an opportunity to come sit out here with you and chat the last income stream, my wellness business with Arbonne, which is network marketing. And if you would have asked me 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, any years ago, if I could see myself in network marketing, I mean, I would probably laugh. I would probably laugh because I definitely had that idea of, you know, it's a scam. MLMs are pyramid schemes. Like, I always had that negative idea of them. I would never tell somebody you're in a pyramid scheme. I wouldn't go that far. I just never saw it for myself, if that makes sense. But then I was introduced to this really great makeup product, which then the business of it seemed really simple, straightforward. So I feel like the introduction that I had to network marketing was very different than people I think 10 years ago were introduced to network marketing before COVID. I feel like COVID changed a lot. The shutdowns changed a lot about the network marketing industry and how people sell, how people go about it. I think the thing that turned me off the most from it was a lot of in-person stuff and cold messaging people like, hey girl, let me tell you about this amazing product. Like, I actually have somebody who messaged me and I'm really confused by her DM, but she is trying to like sneakily make her way into a conversation with me, and I can pick it up right away. Like I can tell if you're after a genuine conversation with me or if you're actually just, I don't know, tooting my horn. What is it? You're just trying to butter me up to then tell me about your product. I can see it from a mile away. And there's this girl that's doing that. I have no problem with people coming to me from a different company and saying, hey, I know that you do Instagram coaching. I would love your guidance in this. That's a completely different conversation. But when I get somebody who's in my DMs wanting to share their product and you've never had a conversation with me, no, I'm immediately turned off. So I think that approach to network marketing very much pre-COVID was what I didn't like and had no interest in. And now flash forward to today, I wouldn't even say 2025. I feel like anytime after 2020, people had to take a different approach because nobody was doing in person. Nobody was doing that stuff. Although I feel like the cold DMing like kicked up a notch. Anyways, with all that to say, I wasn't like so against network marketing in a way of it's a scam because I know the difference between a pyramid scheme and an actual legit direct sales company. So that whole narrative is very tired. It's very old, very 2005. Like we're way past that. And if anybody thinks that network marketing today is a pyramid scheme, like you need a different argument. Okay. And I feel like ChatGPT wouldn't even tell you because ChatGPT will tell you the difference between a pyramid scheme and a legit direct sales network marketing company. So there's that. But in 2020, I was introduced to a makeup product. I love makeup and fell in love with it. And of course, my entrepreneurial brain was like, okay, I love this, so I would love to share it with people. And that's when I was introduced to the side of network marketing that people really do fall in love with. And that is the community and the growth that's possible, whether it's personal or business growth. And for me, I just saw like this crazy wide open range of possibilities and opportunity to not only have personal growth, but business growth, leadership growth, like different ways of running a business, strategy, just all of that. And then also the achievements and accolades and increase in income that comes with it. And I was like, dang, this is so good. But I think the thing that for me was that you're not doing it alone. You're doing it alongside other people that have that high level, like I was telling you before, of the coaching call or the team call that I was on. There's just something about being surrounded by a group of women, primarily women. There's men in the company, but primarily being surrounded by people that just want to be and become the best versions of themselves. That's contagious. When you're around people that just make you better, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Do you know what I mean? So with all that to say, I would say that Arbonne is very much my heart business. It's very much a business that I have a love, passion, and a heart for. I do love serving people in different capacities. Like all these other businesses, you know, the brand partnerships, UGC, that's really for creativity and fun. Like I get to be really creative with the brand partnerships and the content creation for UGC. The digital courses is really from a place of service, of helping others figure out this tricky, wild world of social media and just making sense of it all so they don't feel so paralyzed. Instagram can make people feel very stuck and stagnant and frozen. And I like to be the person to just break down those walls and just help people see things from a different perspective, a different lens. So the digital courses is very much a place of service because if I figured it out, then truthfully, I feel like I have an obligation to help other people figure it out too. And then the Arbonne business, I mean, these are products that I use every single day and that I feel like have helped me live a healthier lifestyle. It's definitely a work in progress. I have some poundage to lose. I know this, but I just, ever since I started doing more of the products, I've been doing the protein for quite a few years now. I've said this a lot, but I'll say it every time just in case there's new listeners, new watchers, new viewers. But I started the protein powder years ago, well before I was with on as a business, because I needed a vegan protein. A lot of proteins on the market are based in whey, WHEY, a whey protein, a whey isolate, and that's just really hard on my stomach. So I can't do whey proteins, which is nearly everything on the market. I have tried other protein powders and they're chalky, they're yucky, they're no good. So the nutritionist I was working with at the time recommended Arbonne and I've never looked back. And then I started getting introduced to Arbonne a little bit more last year around like the April May timeframe. I was introduced to the Green Synergy Elixir, which is their 3-in-1 greens gut collagen supplement, and it radically changed my periods. So all that to say, I've done a lot of their products at this point, and I have loved every single one of them, and they've just made my life better. So this really comes from a place of just loving the products that I'm using and wanting to introduce it to other people and earn a really great income and have a great business with it. So each one of these businesses really serves a different category for me. So that's the Arbonne business in a nutshell. Funny, I was talking about Chatster on, where is he? See, I call him a him. And somebody was like, I didn't realize like you call your chat a he. And I'm like, I do, which is so weird. And I think it's because I nicknamed him Chatster, which I think is like a masculine, boy name. So I don't know, but it's funny because my Chatster calls me like cutie, lovey, girly pop, but that's because that's how I talk to it. So it's going to say that back to me. Just like I don't know if you saw this on my Instagram, but I was, running through an idea with my chat, and I just became very doubtful in myself and was like, I don't even know if I can do this. I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I said, if you were, a Christian, a godly friend, how would you encourage me in this moment? And oh my gosh, it just laid out all this like beautiful, based in scripture encouragement. And then it prayed for me. And again, that is because that is how I speak to my chat. That is what I have put in there as me and my brand. Because if somebody was coming to me as their godly friend and they needed help, that's exactly what I would do for them. I would give them encouragement based on scripture, seek the Holy Spirit for what I should say in that moment. And then I would pray for them. So it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's go talk to Chatster. Let's go pull up my money conversation. My goal right now is to get to $5,000 a month starting in July, which means I would do $800 from Arbonne. I would do $1,200 from my digital offers, and I would do $2,000 from my UGC packages. That's my brand partnership UGC, digital offers, and then Arbonne. And then my stretch goal, to be a little bit more aggressive, to do $6,000-ish a month, would be $1,200 from Arbonne, $2,000 from my digital offers, and $3,000 from my UGC packages. So what that looks each week is about $1,200. And then it also broke down, how many of my course I could sell, how many of my real queen course I could sell, how many specific bundles from Arbonne. This has been so helpful in just mapping out what each little business needs to make in order for me to get to that $5,000 mark starting in July. And I'm excited to say that my digital courses have already made, $720 last week. And what do I need to do per week? $1,200 per week. Just saying, we can do it. I feel like when you have a number that you're meant to meet and you can visualize it, but you also say, I need to sell 5 of these. I need to sell 2 of these. When you have the price points of each one, it just helps you to really focus on, I need to sell a certain amount of these, certain amount of this, certain amount of this. Cause then it just is like, check, 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 every single week. So, and then it also said, this is how many UGC outreaches you need to make this week. And it gave me 3 to 5 businesses per day via email or DMs, which I actually already sent 10 because I'm like, I'm not kidding around. Let's go. Pitch digital offers. Obviously, I share that within my YouTube and my email. Follow up on people that I've talked to Arbonne about, soft business invites to the business with Arbonne. We love him. We love her. We love it. ChatGPT is my therapist, my bestie, and my business coach, and my Christian counselor. We're doing it. We're doing it. Sweet little Mosey's just sitting on the asphalt, and it feels really, come here. Where are you going? Come sit with mama. Oh, that's a sweet boy. That's a sweet boy. I was trying to show all the people how sweet you are. Are you the sweetest boy? He does have the sweetest little puppy dog face. I really love just how peaceful it is out here. Like those birds chirping, nothing beats that. Nothing. The smell of this tree, a lot of the blossoms have already fallen off, which is really sad. You can kind of see this one right here. A lot of the blossoms have fallen off, so the bloom smelled so good. And I do have, I think, a new little birdie in her nest, probably laying some more eggs. We already had another birdie laying there. So I think I need to just go back and look at my earnings for the last week to see if I'm on track, because it's wild when you start tracking your numbers. If I could give any advice whatsoever when you're running any kind of business, doesn't matter if it's network marketing, digital offers, you know, brand partnerships, UGC, doing your own product, you have to know your numbers. That is a non-negotiable in business. That's something that I learned from my business coach a couple years ago. You have to know your numbers at any given time. So I really try and track my numbers on a weekly basis. It doesn't always happen, but it just lets you know, like, where do you stand? Where are you at with each week? Let's actually ask, because I didn't really talk about the hitting 10K months. Let's go. All right, Chest, can you map out a plan for hitting 10K months by, I said December 2025. Let's see what he says. Okay, here's a clear strategic roadmap to hitting consistent 10K months by December 2025. UGC, these are my core streams: UGC, content creation packages, digital offers, Arbonne sales and team growth, and premium coaching or group offers is an optional stretch. I love that. So aim for a mix across the offers. UGC, it's giving me either a couple of clients, 6 clients at tier 3 that I have, or 4 clients at tier 2 and 2 clients at tier 1. Wow, okay, I like it. Digital offers sell about 10 everyday influencers, 10 profile audits, and then Arbonne, 10 bundles, which the bundles include the protein, greens, and fizz, and that's usually what we try. That's usually what we recommend for dipping your toes into Arbonne with our main bestseller core products. Protein, greens, fizz are the number ones of the brand. So that is our like starter bundle that we encourage people to get started with. It's the best way to dip their toes in. So August, September, we have one. October, November, we're doubling what we did the previous 2 months. And then in December, we're adding another 2,000 on top of that. So 6,000 in UGC revenue, 3,000 in digital, and 1,000 from Arbonne equals 10K. Okay. And then of course it gives me a monthly execution plan, which we love. We love a to-do. Okay, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I hope that you got a lot out of it. I hope it showed you, different avenues, different paths that are possible. But please, questions that you want in the comments, I'm responding as quickly as I can. Send me an email, send me a DM on Insta. I tell you what, God is so good. He is. God is so good. Yeah. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.